to the stage. Yes. Hello there, everyone. It is Natasha Tomlinson with My Home Group Real Estate. I thank you very much for joining in today. Just wanted to give everyone a minute or two to chime into tonight's webinar. This is a home buying webinar for Arizona, okay? Every state is a little bit different. I am not familiar with various states. I am familiar with the home buying process, home selling process in Arizona. All right, so that is what we will be discussing tonight. This is a free webinar. Feel free to stay the whole way through. Feel free to turn your cameras on, or if you prefer, if you're driving, your other life events are taking place, then by all means, pump up the volume so others can hear and keep your cameras off. It's totally up to you. But I'm curious what you guys are hearing out there as far as home ownership is concerned, buying in Arizona. What concerns do you have? What concerns are you hearing from others about buying in today's real estate market? Today in particular, we will focus on the top 5 mistakes to avoid as a home buyer here in Arizona. All right, so volume up, get comfy. I will certainly address any questions that you have towards the end. And if you have questions about the Arizona real estate market, you can always reach out to me directly on any of the social media networks: Facebook, YouTube, X, Insta, LinkedIn, you know them. So you can find me there. Anyway, let's begin, right? Your time is valuable, and I thank you very much for being here today. So let's get things rolling. As I mentioned, today we're diving into a lot of the mistakes that we see home buyers making in the market. Mistake number 1 would be counting themselves out. That would certainly be mistake number 1, in my opinion. What are we doing here? Here we go. Counting themselves out. This mistake is particularly heartbreaking. Let's make sure that you are seeing what I want. The screen. Yeah, you're not seeing the screen, you're seeing me. And, well, there we go. As I mentioned, this mistake is particularly heartbreaking because it stops people from even trying to achieve their dreams of home ownership. Let's break down some common misconceptions and shed light on the reality of home buying qualifications. So first, let's talk about what most people don't want to talk about, is a credit score. Unless, of course, you have a perfect credit score, which few do. Most folks do not want to discuss credit scores. And they believe that they need a perfect score to purchase property. I have potential home buyers tell me, listen, Natasha, my credit is not perfect, and I couldn't possibly qualify for a home loan. I couldn't possibly qualify for a mortgage. But here's the truth. While a higher score can certainly get you better rates, you can often qualify for a mortgage with a lower score than you would think. Score in the 500s, for instance. And sometimes, basically you can qualify for a score of, what, say, a 550, a 580, in some cases a 500 credit score. So let's address the debt myth. I often hear potential buyers worry about their student loans, car payments, medical debts. They assume that any debt automatically disqualifies them. In reality, it's more about your debt to income ratio than the absolute amount of debt that you carry. Lenders typically look for a ratio of 43% or less, but there are programs that allow for higher ratios. So don't let student loans or other debts stop you from exploring your options. Another misconception is about income. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, I don't make enough money to buy a house. But here's the thing, there's no set income requirement for buying a home. It's about how your income relates to the home price and your other debts, your other obligations. Plus, there are programs designed specifically for low to moderate income buyers. You might be surprised at what you qualify for. So here's the reality on some home buyer qualifications. The truth is they're much more flexible than most people think. Lenders look at your overall financial picture, your credit, your debt, your income, your assets, and your employment history. It's a holistic view, not just a one magic number that determines everything. So let me give you an example. I worked with a young couple who thought they could buy anything because of their student loan. They almost gave up before even starting. But when we sat down and looked at their entire financial picture, we found that they actually qualified for a first-time home buyer program. They're now happily settled into their new home, building equity instead of paying rent. This brings me to my next point, the importance of getting accurate, up-to-date information. The home buying landscape is always changing, with new programs and options becoming available all the time. What was true 5 years ago or even last year may not be the case today. So let's move on. All right, let's move on to mistake number 2. Mistake number 2 is not taking advantage of first-time home buying programs, not taking advantage of down payment assistance programs. This is a big one. Arizona offers several programs designed specifically to help get you into home ownership, and missing out on these could cost you thousands of dollars. There are down payment assistance programs that are specific to your area, specific to a location. Some are dependent on your income, and some may require you to stay in the home for a few years. Some are 100%. Don't leave money on the table. So, enough said about that. Oh, come on now. All right. Mistake number 3. Let's move on to mistake number 3, which is getting sucked into the home builder's marketing machine. Now, this is a big one, especially here in the greater Phoenix metro area where new construction is booming. Let's talk about the tactics that a new home builder could use to reel you in. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. There are some absolutely fantastic home builders out there that are creating some amazing opportunities. You may have heard we have a shortage of housing, and we need our home builders out there to offset this shortage of housing supply, right? But for you, the home buyer, it is crucial to understand that they are using marketing tactics to make so that you can make an informed decision on which community and which property floor plan is the better fit for you. So first, there is the model home situation. And builders showcase their model homes with all the bells and whistles, upgrades, finishes, premium appliances, professional staging. It's designed to make you fall in love at first sight. But remember, what you see isn't always what you get, especially at the base price. Another tactic is the urgency play. You might hear things like, this is the last one on the lot. This is the last home in this community. Prices are going up next week. And while sometimes this is true, this is often a sales tactic used to push you to make a quick decision. Builders often have preferred lenders, and they might offer incentives for using their lender, like closing cost credits or money towards upgrades, money to reduce your interest rate. And these can be great, no doubt about it. But it is also important to shop around and ensure you're getting the best overall deal. Lastly, watch out for the upgrade upsell. Once you're emotionally invested in the home, it's easy to justify upgrades that can quickly blow your budget, right? All right, enough said about that. Mistake number 4 would be skipping or waiving the home inspection period. Skipping the home inspection period is like buying a car without looking under the hood. You might look great on the inside, on the outside, but you could be in for some expensive surprises down the road. And let me explain why home inspection, really the home inspection period, is vital to the home buying process. First and foremost, a home inspection gives you an unbiased professional assessment of the property's condition. It is your chance to really understand what you're buying beyond what you can see with the human eye, with your own eyes. It is crucial whether you're looking to buy a brand new build or a charming 1920s bungalow. Secondly, the inspection period gives you the home buyer leverage. If significant issues are uncovered, you have the opportunity to negotiate repairs or even walk away if there are some major deal breakers. Without an inspection, you're essentially agreeing to buy the home as is, warts and all. Lastly, a good home inspection can save you money in the long run. It can identify potential issues before they become major problems, allowing you to budget for future repairs or maintenance. So let's talk a little bit about your standard home inspection. Your general home inspection typically covers structural elements, which includes the foundation, walls, ceilings, and roof. Exterior evaluation, which would be any siding, grading, garages, and any drainage would all be examined. Your typical home inspection includes a roof and attic inspection, where the inspector will look for leaks, proper insulation, and ventilation. An inspection of plumbing systems, which covers your pipes, drains, water heating, and pressure. The inspection covers electrical systems, where the inspector checks all visible wiring, service panels, breakers, and fuses. Included as well is the HVAC system. They inspect the heating, cooling, and ductwork thoroughly. Interior is included as well: walls, flooring, windows, doors, stairs, if applicable. Any ventilation for bathrooms or kitchen vents are also properly inspected. A fireplace, if there's one present in the home. Appliances, if they are present in the home. Remember, while this home inspection is comprehensive, it does not cover everything. Depending on the property, you may want to consider additional specialized inspections, such as a pest inspection for termites or other wood-destroying organisms, mold testing, radon testing, depending on your area, asbestos testing for older homes, testing the sewer line, chimney inspections if there's a fireplace, pool and spa inspections if there's a pool or spa present. So let me share a quick story with you, right, about how a home inspection saved one of my clients thousands of dollars. We were working with a lovely couple buying their first home, a charming 1960s ranch style home. All right. The home looked great, but our inspector discovered significant issues with the electrical system. It wasn't up to code and posed a serious safety risk. Armed with this information, we were able to negotiate a $10,000 reduction in price to cover the cost of updating the electrical system. Without that inspection, my clients would have been on the hook for those repairs themselves. Home inspections can also help you plan for future expenses. Maybe the roof is looking good, right? But it is near the end of its life, or the water heater is showing signs of age. This information allows you to budget accordingly and avoid surprise expenses down the road. Lastly, don't forget about the peace of mind factor. Knowing that your potential new home or new to you home has been thoroughly examined by a professional can help you feel confident in your purchase decision. So let's move on, all right, to part 2 of the inspection, all right, because the inspection period deals with the physical inspection of the property, but also the inspection period is a time to research the neighborhood thoroughly, right? Remember, when you are buying a home, you're not just buying the structure, you are also buying into a community. The neighborhood could have a huge impact on your quality of life and your home's future value. Why is neighborhood research so important? Well, it ensures that the area aligns with your lifestyle and your needs. A neighborhood that's perfect for a young professional might not be ideal for a family with school-age children. Secondly, understanding the neighborhood helps you gauge the potential for appreciation. Is the area up and coming? Are there plans for new amenities or developments that could increase the property value? Are there new employment opportunities coming to the area? New roadways? Lastly, thorough research can uncover potential issues that might not be apparent during a brief visit. Maybe the quiet street becomes a major thoroughfare during rush hour, or perhaps there's a history of flooding in the area. What should you be looking at when researching a neighborhood? Well, here are a few key factors. Let me just show something here. Yeah. All right. Yes, a few key factors would be the schools. Even if you don't have children, school quality can significantly impact property values. Crime rates, look at both the crime statistics and trends over time. As I mentioned to people, please check the crime stats in your current area and the new area, because we all know crime is everywhere. We can also consider future development. Are there plans for new shopping centers, new schools, new parks, new amenities, or perhaps less desirable developments? What are the transportation issues of that area? Consider your commute times, public transportation options, and walkability if that is of interest to you. What amenities are available in that area? Look at the proximity to shopping, restaurants, parks, and other facilities that matter most to you. Check out property values. Research historical trends and future projections. What about natural hazards? Is the area prone to flooding, wildfires, or other natural disasters? Consider noise levels. Visit the neighborhood at different times of day to get a true sense for the noise levels. And the community vibe. Does the neighborhood feel like a place where you would fit in and be comfortable long term? Now, where can you find all of this information? Here are some valuable resources like your local government websites. These often provide information on zoning, future development plans, and public services. School district websites for detailed information on local schools. Crime mapping websites like crimereports.com can show you detailed crime statistics for that particular area. The Walk Score rates neighborhoods based on walkability, transit, and bike friendliness. Local news sources help you gain a great understanding for current events and future plans for the area. Social media Neighborhood Facebook groups or Nextdoor can give you a sense of community dynamics. FEMA flood maps, essential for understanding flood risks. And your realtor or real estate professional. We have access to a wealth of data and local knowledge that can be invaluable in your research. Now, let's dive into mistake number 5. Mistake number 5, folks, is skipping the HOA document review. This is a critical step that many homebuyers overlook, often to their later regret. First, let's talk about what an HOA is. HOA stands for Homeowners Association. It's an organization in many communities that makes and enforces rules for the properties and residents. In Arizona, HOAs are incredibly common, especially in newer developments. Now, why is reviewing the HOA document so crucial? Well, when you buy a property in a community, in an HOA community, you're not just buying a home. You're entering into a contract with the Homeowners Association. This contract can affect everything from what color you can paint your home to whether you can park your RV in the driveway or at the property at all. Skipping the HOA document review is like signing a contract without reading it. You might be agreeing to rules and financial obligations that you're not aware of, and that could significantly impact your lifestyle and your budget. So let's break down what HOA documents typically include. They include CC&Rs, covenants, conditions, and restrictions. This is the main governing document for the Homeowners Association. It outlines the rules of the community, covering things like architectural controls, pet policies, and the use of common areas. Bylaws. These describe how the HOA operates, including how board members are elected and how meetings are conducted. Articles of Incorporation. This is the legal document that establishes the HOA as a corporate entity. Rules and regulations. These are more detailed day-to-day rules that complement the covenants, conditions, and restrictions, the CC&Rs. Financial documents are also there for your review. These include the current budget, the reserve study, and information about any planned special assessments for improvements to the community, like work on the pool or landscaping or the roads within the community or improvements on the gate. Another document to review would be the meeting minutes. These can give you insight into current issues in the community and how the board operates. The newsletter and any community updates. These can provide a sense of community culture and recent developments. When reviewing these documents, here are some key areas to focus on. Focus on the financial health. Look at the budget and the reserve fund. And if you have a loan that you're using a loan to purchase the property, this is something that your loan officer will want, the underwriter will want as well, to make sure that the HOA is financially stable. Are there enough reserves for major repairs and replacements? What is the fee structure? Understand what the current HOA fees are, what they cover, and how often they've increased in the past. And special assessments. Check if there are any planned or recent special assessments. These are additional fees for major projects or unexpected expenses. Rules and restrictions. Pay close attention to rules that might affect your lifestyle. Do they allow rentals in this community? Are there pet restrictions? How about home businesses? Architectural controls, something also to consider. Understand what changes you can make to your property and what requires HOA approval. Amenities. What amenities does the HOA provide? Are they well maintained? Management. Is the HOA self-managed or professionally managed? This can affect how efficiently it operates. Insurance. What does the HOA's master policy cover, and what are you responsible for insuring? Litigation. Check if the HOA is involved in any ongoing legal disputes. Violations and fines. Understand the process for rule violations and associated fines. Taking the time to review HOA documents thoroughly can benefit you in several ways. They can help you avoid surprises. You'll know exactly what you're getting into before you buy the property and before you buy into that community. You'll be able to budget accurately. Understanding all potential costs helps you determine if the property truly fits your budget. Is it a lifestyle fit? Can you ensure the community rules align with your lifestyle and plans for the future? Future planning. Understanding planned improvements or changes can help you anticipate how the community might evolve. And negotiation leverage. If you discover issues, you might be able to negotiate the price or terms of the sale. And peace of mind, which is always important. Knowing you've done your due diligence can make you more confident in your purchase decision. Well, we've covered a lot of ground in today's webinar. I feel like there's a mouthful. Where's my water? Okay. Take a couple sips here. All right. Let's do a quick recap, all right, of the 5 crucial mistakes that we discussed today. Excuse me, my goodness. Okay. One would be counting yourself out before getting started, not taking advantage of home buyer programs and down payment assistance programs, getting sucked into the new home builders marketing machine. And again, there are some wonderful home builders out there, but just some things to be aware of. Skipping or waiving the home inspection period, and skipping the Homeowners Association document review. Each of these mistakes can cost you time, money, and a whole lot of stress. But armed with the knowledge that was shared today, you're already ahead of the game. The key takeaways from our session today. Don't assume that you can't buy a home. Get the facts first. Facts over fiction. Explore all available programs and resources available to you as a home buyer. Approach new construction with eyes wide open and a critical mindset. Always, always, always get a professional home inspection. Thoroughly review Homeowners Association documents. And remember that buying a home is a journey, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. The goal isn't just to buy a home, it's to find the right home for you at the right price and the right location for you long term. So, what's next? You've listened to me babble for a while now, and you're like, all right, I got it. I want to buy. I want to at least have an idea of where I stand. So here are some action items. Schedule a free consultation with me, and we'll discuss your particular situation and create a personalized home buying strategy. You can start researching home buyer and down payment assistance programs in Arizona. And I can also provide you with a list of resources to get you started. Share this information with your friends, with your family who may be considering buying a home. Remember, knowledge is power, and the more information we have, the more informed buyers we have, the healthier our overall real estate market will be. Folks, I wanted to thank you for allowing me to ramble on today. You've been wonderful, and I certainly appreciate your time. I understand that time is valuable, and yours is no different. So if you have questions about today's real estate markets, I am all ears. You can reach out to me again. Here's my number, or you can feel free to message me on any of the social media any social media channel as well. All right. Well, have a good night. Stay cool, Arizona, and I will see you next week. Ta-ta for now.